Hello everybody, it is Eli Oi the Cow back with another video, and today we are back with some LEGO Pirates of the Caribbean. In the previous episode, we went through the entire Dead Man's Chest story, and now we are finishing it up with At War's End. So now Lord Beckett has the most power now that he has the possession of Davy Jones, and he is now hanging everybody who is even so much as even associated with a pirate. Now in the game they're just throwing food at them, but in the movie he hangs them, including a child. And now Barbossa wants to get all of the pirate lords together. That way, they all have a fighting chance against the East India Trading Company. Jack being one of the 9 pirate lords. Oh, would you look at that? I found one of your fishes. Oh, that's nice. How would you look at that? Now, a lot of people seem to misunderstand Barbossa's character in this movie. You see, a lot of people believe that in the rest of the movies, Barbossa is actually a good guy now. That is not actually the case. Barbossa is actually still an evil pirate. The reason why he comes off as what you'd call a better man is because he is helping Elizabeth Will Turner and Jack Sparrow. However, he's not helping them because he actually cares. He's helping them because he needs them in order to fight back against the East India Trading Company to ensure freedom for pirates. Let's set that off. And then we got this puzzle. Let's turn it that way. Now we close that up. Hello? Oh, okay, I see. Alright. Sorry, boys. Now's not the time to be relaxing. And this is Sao Fang. Another guy who just hates Jack Sparrow for some reason. And this is completely inaccurate to the movie. They did not get along immediately. They were literally about to fight each other. Y'all better move. So that unlocks another pirate lord. Good thing too, because we need this to get a carrot, which in turn this other pirate likes. And that's good too, because we also need to get down the stairs so Tila Doma can join us. Here comes the East India Trading Company. Gotta take him down. Bridge. Oh, this is very anticlimactic. We're doing this as we're getting ambushed. Right, there we go. We need the strong guy again. I'm gonna smack you with my carrot. Oh, come on. One of y'all help me out. Whoa. And now they're shooting at us? Oh, great. Oh, come on. How do y'all like it? They did get along a little bit in the movie, but not as well as the game presented. Southing is just a weirdo because he actually wants to get together with the goddess of the seas called Calypso. I'm glad Will and Elizabeth are doing pretty good in the video game, because in the actual movie they were not doing that well, because again, remember at this point, Will thinks that she loves Jack because of the kiss that Elizabeth used to tie up Jack to the ship. To Davy Jones's locker. And there was Jack. This is exactly where he was taken. So I know what you're thinking. If Tila Doma was able to just bring back Barbossa, then why couldn't she just bring back Jack the same way? Well, you see, Barbossa was only dead. Jack was taken to Davy Jones's locker, which is what this is. So they need to travel to Davy Jones's locker in order to bring him back. But anyways, now we gotta find a bunch of random stuff. Just spawned an island out of nowhere. And the guy wants a rubber ducky. Good thing too, because this Jack Sparrow has a shovel. Oh, would you look at that? A free bottle for us to collect. Oh, nice. Unfortunately, these extra Jack Sparrows do not have a character slot at the end of the game. Yep, they are exclusive to this storyline level only. Thank you. A bottle. Now we got Jack Sparrow that has bombs. That's the one where we need to take that weird object to. First things first. Now let's take it. Now then. To build this. Alright, now we can take this back end of the pole back. Hoist up the ankle. Good thing those creatures belong to Tila Doma. He's like, how is this happening? And there's the rest of the crew, which Jack actually meets them on the island off the ship, and Jack is pretty adamant about joining them again because 4 of them have tried to kill him in the past, and he's just not exactly sure if he even wants to even so much as affiliate with them again. And then they tell him about Lord Beckett having power over the seas. You leave me behind for one moment, and look, everything's gone to pot. And the ward needs Jack. And this is when Jack takes a look at the map, and he realizes that walking the ship is exactly how they're going to escape Davy Jones's locker. There is a little bit of something that does happen before they start walking the ship. You see, as they are traveling in Davy Jones's locker, they find some of the people that were executed by Cutler Beckett. One of those people being Elizabeth's father. And then there's like that heartbreaking scene where Elizabeth tries to get her father on the ship, but he's already at peace heading to the afterlife. Also, when Jack was talking to the rest of the crew about how he was really feeling, when he mentions that one of them actually succeeded at killing him, Will then looks at Elizabeth Swann, and that's when Will realizes that Elizabeth doesn't love Jack. And that she actually left him for the Kraken. Which upsets Will that she had him believe that Jack made that self-sacrifice just for them to escape, only to find out that she actually made him go out with the sacrifice. Wake up, Mr. Gibbs. And remember to shower later because you stink. Be free, Teledoma. And then the two idiots are just strapping themselves from upside down because they know that they'll be right side up. Loosen up the cannons. Let it shift. Wake up, Will Turner. And one minor consistency, but Jack Sparrow didn't have his hat or his captain coat. You know, doing the actual scene. Okay, well, would you look at that? There we go. Aha. Gotta lower it all the way down for Marty. Oh, what? Dude. I was gonna say, you better not be stuck. Now all we gotta do is just swing this back and forth. Back and forth. Back and forth. And down we go. Up is down. Now they're out of Davy Jones' locker. They're back. By the way, Teledoma could kill Barbossa in seconds. And there's like a little bit of stuff that this game does miss, so after they get off the ship, they take a look at the Kraken, which by the way, Davy Jones was forced to kill off the Kraken. More orders from Lord Cutler Beckett. And then Sao Fang's crew shows up to capture Jack and are committing mutiny against his crew. Who was responsible for making the deal with Sao Fang? Will Turner. And now they're all mad at Will Turner. Even Elizabeth is mad at Will Turner. There's even that one funny moment where he says, "It was my burden to bear." So then Barbossa agrees to let Sao Fang be captain for just a little bit, and then he takes Elizabeth Swann. Because he believes that Elizabeth Swann is Calypso. She's not. And then he grooms her just a little bit, and then he gets blasted, which you're about to see. Meanwhile, Will Turner opens up to Jack about how every step he makes for his father is a step away from Elizabeth. So then Jack tells Will Turner that he'll climb aboard as Will is distracting them, and then he'll stab the heart, and take control of the Dutchman himself. And then he makes Will get off the ship by giving Will his compass, and then Will meets up with Davy Jones and Lord Beckett. And those where South Fang got blasted. So remember when James Norrington got his commission back? Yeah. At this moment was when he found out that it wasn't all it was meant to be. He didn't realize that one of the victims was her father. When he learned about it, Elizabeth is she's just done with James Norrington. And James tries to tell her that he swears he did not know anything about Beckett executing her father. But sadly, she doesn't believe him just yet. So now they have captured Elizabeth and her crew. Elizabeth choosing to stay with the captured crew. And now James Norrington is set to rescue them, realizing that Lord Beckett really is evil. In other words, he's choosing a side. Time to free them. Elizabeth also meets Bootstrap Bill, assures him that Will Turner is still alive, but at this point, Bootstrap Bill has pretty much lost his humanity and he is no longer sane, becoming part of the crew, part of the ship. This is the one time where I actually felt bad for James Norrington, because this is when he realized that everything he has done up to this point was not actually good, and only now is he making right choices for once. Though to be fair, when Elizabeth wanted to be with Will Turner, he just accepted it, so he wasn't like all bad. And then James Norrington gives Elizabeth Swann a kiss before he is executed by Bootstrap Bill. But of course, to make it kid friendly, he just gets fished up. She is upset once she sees Norrington die, but she was also just done with him. Move, Elizabeth. There we go. Oh. Ah. Now then. Move this out of the way. Time to batten down the hatches. Oh! That's even more gruesome than how it happened in the movie. Come on, kids. Stop fighting over the pole. You're in this together. Major statue, dude. That's one. Alright. Aha. Well, that was weird that a torch was actually a compass item. That's two. And then the last one. That's the very one you take. 3 down, 3 more to go. Aha. Alright. Glass of water. Now there's only 2 more. Aha. Only 1 more left to go. I think this is the final phase. It's always the last one you acquire that we head up with. Right, we're supposed to go this way. By the way, in the actual movie, Jack does have his captain outfit, but doesn't have his hat on. And now it's Captain Swan because Sao Fang is dead and officially declared her the captain. Teledoma is Calypso, by the way. Just in case y'all didn't catch that with, well, that. This is madness. This is politics. And the first level of both the first and second movie, there was a guard dog level. And in this level, there was a guard dog level. Pretty consistent in these storylines. In the movie, Jack Sparrow's dad shows up to settle it. So then they do like a name calling. And the problem is each pirate ever votes for themselves. But then Jack voted Elizabeth Swan, so Elizabeth becomes captain. And then Jack's dad tells Jack that it's not about living forever. The trick is living with yourself. The pirates in the East India Trading Company are ready to fight. So now they realize that somebody led the East India Trading Company to them. While the finger is originally pointed at Will, they realize that Jack gave Will the compass for the East India Trading Company to get to the pirates. And then Elizabeth trades Jack so they can have Will Eternal. And Barbossa's like, Jack is one of the 9 pirate lords. You have no right. And then Jack is saying, she's pirate king. And it's just so funny because Barbossa's just kind of like, do I even get a say in this? So now we gotta put all the items in to finally free Calypso. Found one of the items. It's the lady again. Thank you. We want this torch. Head on down. Tentacle. Alright. I have your umbrella now. Up we go. Another piece. Back up. To fire the cannon. The last item. Calypso is free. It's time to fight. Will Turner and Elizabeth Swann get married, by the way. During that scene, they have, like, Barbossa marry them. And Barbossa was at first like, I'm a little bit busy at the moment. But then they just persisted, and Barbossa was like, fine. So then he marries Will Turner and Elizabeth Swann. You may kiss! Ha 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 ha. And then one of the men show up. You may kiss! And then one of the men shows up. One of them show up again. Just kiss! And then they finally do. Goodness, they got some gruesome animations for this specific level. Come on. Got another one of the cannons. Goodness, spin them around town. One last one. There's Jack. It's the same ones that Jack dealt with in the first movie. Oh boy. Yep. Remember why I mentioned that Jack's dad told Jack that it's not about living forever, it's about living with yourself? This is where Jack was confronted by that choice. He can either stab the heart and become captain of the Flying Dutchman and let Will Turner die, or he can have Will Turner stab the heart, get Jack's skull, but be able to live with himself forever. Alright, Jack. Get Davy Jones. Can't run from me, Davy Jones. My debt's already been paid. Can't keep running. But in the movie, Bootstrap Bill is taking on Davy Jones as Jack is contemplating what to do next. And what decision does Jack make? He sets down the heart and has Will Turner stab the heart, giving Will Turner a second chance to live. He can only step on land once every 10 years, but at least he gets to live. Jack Sparrow sacrificed his #1 goal for Will Turner to live. That proves that deep down, despite how Jack acted in the previous movie, he truly does care about Will Turner and Elizabeth Swann. And now the East India Trading Company perishes. Time to pay for all your sins, Beckett. And now they're saying goodbye before Will has to go 10 years of service. He's like, hurry up, it's time to go. The sad part is, though, is that the 5th movie actually completely ruins the whole, you know, Captain of the Dutchman and courses and all that. Thank goodness the 5th movie is not in this game. So as you can see, Barbossa played Mutiny on Jack yet again. But Jack was one step ahead of Barbossa. Time for another adventure, Mr. Gibbs. In the movie, it was just Jack, though, on the ship. Alright, that was At Ward's End. That is all for this time. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe. And if this happens to be the first video you see by me, consider checking out my other content. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Goodbye. Yes, I know there's one more movie to tackle, but I'm not going to do it. It doesn't exist. You can't make me do it! Okay, maybe one of these days I'll do it.